On the show tonight. I want to cut across to a breaking bit of developments which is coming in right now. This is a tweet by Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, who has tweeted that Hamas is worse than ISIS. This picture we have, of course, changed bit part of it because these are gory details which have been put on the social networking site. But this image has been put out by Benjamin Netanyahu to show the kind of terror that has been unleashed on Israeli civilians. This is not the first tweet in which Benjamin Netanyahu is talking about the brutality which has been unleashed by Hamas. But in a series of tweets, Benjamin Netanyahu has spoken about it. And earlier he also pointed out how US stands on the same page, saying that Hamas is worse than ISIS. Veena Sikri is also joining us on the broadcast, former diplomat. Thank you so much, Veena ji, for speaking with us. This is a tweet that we are putting out of Benjamin Netanyahu, and Israel continues to point out the kind of barbaric acts that were committed by these terrorists who were there on the Israeli soil. India has taken a very clear position and it has supported Israel in the kind of counter-terror measures that it has taken. How do you see the position that India has taken vis-a-vis how the foreign powers or the Western superpowers, how they are aligning?
India has always had a very categoric and unequivocal position on terrorism. We stand against terrorism, and there is no such thing as good terrorists or bad terrorists or root cause terrorists. There are no such things. So I think our Prime Minister's statement was absolutely correct and unequivocal in the saying that we oppose the terrible and brutal violence and terrorism that Hamas has unleashed on the people of Israel. I think this is a very, very important and unequivocal statement. I think it stands on its own. This is India's position consistently. India has always also supported the question of two states, of a Palestinian state and Israel, the two-state theory which is there, and we're willing to work towards a two-state solution for Israel and Palestine in that area. But there is no question that terrorism will not be tolerated. So terrorism, in order to try and get any goal, will not be tolerated. And I think we've taken a very correct position. And I am glad that the Western countries are supporting it. I believe there might be the possibility even of U.S. Secretary of State Blinken visiting Israel in the next very, very short few hours. I think that, of course, because Israel's response to the terrorism committed against them has been very sharp and has risen very sharply in the last few hours. So naturally there is concern all over the world. But I would say once again that India's position has been correct. What our Prime Minister's statement has been very accurate. It reflects India's stand against terrorism, and it does not in any means rule out the question of a two-state solution for Israel and Palestine without any kind of terror at all in the future. That will be really bringing peace to this area on a long-term basis. For there can be no scope for terror at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. No good terror or bad terror. It's terror at the end of the day, which should be unequivocally condemned by all. That's the story we'll continue to track here on The Nation at 5. For now, we're slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned, stay with us.